You can find more detailed information on the process, on this baking process, through Bespoke or Bespoke Bread. I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. And then KiwiCo. So Bespoke, it talks to you about the ingredients, the proper stuff to use, why you would use one ingredient over the other. And then KiwiCo actually goes into more detail on the chemical reaction of each ingredient in the process of in the baking process. Imagine biting into a cupcake that is fluffy, moist, and on top is a cloud of fluffy frosting. A lot of people think that baking is actually an art. It is. However, it is actually science rolled into art. The art form comes after the baking process when you get to the decorating. Baking is actually a chemical reaction, and when you understand that, you become a scientist and a master baker. For the remainder of this video, we'll actually be going over aeration, the bake process, and the structure of the cupcake. The most important part of a cupcake is the structure of the cupcake. If you don't have that right ratio and the correct amount of air in your cupcake, you won't have the stability that you need. For example, in a vanilla cupcake, you start with creaming your butter together and the sugar. The crystallization of the sugar into the butter creates tiny little air pockets, which whip up and make that creamy texture that you're looking for. Then when you go ahead and add into the eggs, or add the eggs into your mixture, you actually take that process and essentially stop it. So the eggs are going into that mixture of the air pockets and closing the air pockets, keeping that whipped texture. After the remainder of your ingredients are put together, that's when you put your cupcakes into the oven. Most of the time it's at a 350-degree temperature. For cupcakes, they're in a more closed-in area, so you need a shorter amount of time, and that can range anywhere from 12 minutes to 25 minutes. So after you've added the rest of your dry ingredients or alternated your dry with your wet ingredients into the remainder of your mixture, you pop it in the oven, and that's where the actual chemical reaction takes place. In this video, you'll see the difference from start to finish. Have you ever walked into a bakery or someone's house and you've got that sweet smell of vanilla? That, with everything that you're making together, with the sugar browning, the melting of the butter, all of those ingredients coming together and creating that explosion of flavor and scent. Now this is the most crucial part. You may think that in the oven is the crucial part. It's actually not. It's when it comes out of the oven. Do not bite into that cupcake shortly after it comes out of the oven. You need to let it sit, because in that time it is still actually cooking. It's still baking. It's in that process. It needs time to cool down. If you go to bite into it right now, you're going to get like a squishy, gummy type of texture, and you don't want that. So if you ever get that in a cupcake, you've eaten it way too quickly, or it didn't cool down at the proper temperature. Never, ever, ever apply frosting to a hot cupcake, because the butter and the crystals in the sugar will solidify and it melts all over your cupcake. Take a look at this next video and you'll see the difference in the texture of the cupcake when it's at that proper temperature. As it's cooled down, you've got the frosting on the cupcake, and you can tell that it is super moist and delicate on the inside.